I'm a narcissist. What an idiot I've been as a young person in this industry who has no filter and no idea what she's doing.
Of Snow White is different, and it's more of a 2022 version of Snow White. What did you mean by that?
I mean, you know, the original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird. I'm sure a lot of people will assume it's a love story just because, like, we cast a guy in the movie. Andrew Burnap, great dude.
Yeah.
All of Andrew's scenes could get cut. Who knows? It's Hollywood, baby.
Disney's latest live-action remake of Snow White has arrived, and unsurprisingly, it has stirred up a storm of controversy. From questionable creative choices to a marketing disaster that alienated audiences, this film seems to represent everything that's currently wrong with Disney. While the original 1937 animated classic was a charming and timeless fairy tale, this new adaptation is a soulless, misguided attempt to modernize a beloved story, and it fails spectacularly. One of the most striking issues with this remake is its complete rejection of the original's core themes. Snow White is no longer a story about love, kindness, and magic. Instead, it has been forcefully restructured into a tale of empowerment that feels disjointed and uninspired. The film's lead, Rachel Zegler, spent months in the spotlight making dismissive remarks about the source material, and her portrayal of Snow White lacks the warmth and innocence that made the character iconic. The decision to remove the prince and downplay the romantic elements only adds to the film's identity crisis, as it struggles to justify its own existence. Beyond the narrative changes, the film is visually and technically underwhelming. The CGI dwarves are unconvincing, the set pieces lack the enchanting quality of the original, and the musical numbers are forgettable at best. Even Gal Gadot, typically a charismatic presence, feels miscast as the evil queen, delivering a performance that fails to capture the menace and elegance required for the role. The entire production feels rushed, uninspired, and ultimately disconnected from what made Snow White a beloved classic in the first place. Adding to the disaster is the way Disney handled the film's promotion. The studio doubled down on its divisive changes, dismissing criticism as irrelevant or unfounded. However, audiences were not convinced. The backlash was swift and unrelenting, with many longtime Disney fans expressing frustration over the studio's disregard for its own legacy. Instead of celebrating and respecting the original film, this remake attempts to rewrite history in a way that alienates its core audience. In the end, the failure of the Snow White remake is a symptom of a larger issue at Disney. The studio seems more interested in pushing an agenda than in telling compelling stories that resonate with audiences. This isn't about modernizing a fairy tale, it's about stripping it of its heart and replacing it with something hollow. As box office numbers struggle and fan reception continues to plummet, one thing is clear: Disney has lost its magic. And this film is yet another example of why audiences are walking away.